Audio on demand from Vision Christian Media.
Exploring faith and the future. Neil Johnson and Bible teacher Dr. Kameel Majdali.
We have been talking about what it is that makes men godly men, what it is that sets apart a godly masculine man from other definitions of manhood. Let's talk today, Kameel, about one of those traits that we often think is very, very good. The idea of courage, or of a man being courageous.
I believe that this quality, of course, can be found with women too. But I guess women are courageous in a certain way and men a certain way as well. Let me put it this way. Courage is probably the first ingredient for leadership and, for that matter, for men. When we are courageous, we are able to fulfill our potential as men of God in a way that would be impossible without it. It's interesting, too, because courage, we all agree that it's a good thing, and it should go with being a man, a masculine one, but it's also, as I said, one of the characters of leaders. And yet, so often when we hear about leadership, we don't hear about courage. And we do need to bring that back to the fore. We will face days ahead where courage will be mandatory because you won't get through the situation without it. And the good news is, and I'm very relieved about this, I learned long ago, courage is not the absence of fear. Even courageous people can be afraid. It's part of being human. The issue is this: we can all face fear, but the courageous person masters fear. They overcome fear. They rise up to the occasion, and they do so with God's help. Let's never forget that, Neil. They need God to be courageous.
As young men, we sometimes do reckless things, stunts. Perhaps these are practice for the sorts of courage we'll need at a later time. Kameel, what's the difference between the reckless stunt and true godly courage?
Oh, big difference, Neil, between recklessness and courage. Recklessness is folly, totally, absolutely. Courage is wisdom. Courage is godly. Courage is leadership. Which one would any half-thinking person want? Of course, it's courage.
But the formation of that courage, I guess, in the games children play, in the competition between one another, in those ways that courage begins to develop, those things can develop, I guess, in a right way and in a wrong way. Developing that right godly courage, I guess, is going to be determined by the environment that those children, those teenagers find themselves in.
Environment is important, but it's not everything. Ultimately, courage is not infused in us because of our environment. It comes because we choose to obey God. Because what people have to understand is courage is not just a good idea. Courage is a command from the Lord. What did he tell Joshua? Joshua chapter 1, be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, don't be dismayed, because the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. It's time to be courageous.
Faith and the Future with Neil Johnson and Dr. Kameel Majdali from Teach All Nations. For more from Dr. Majdali, including books and DVDs on prophecy, Bible commentaries, plus today's and other episodes of Faith and the Future, go to vision.org.au.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.